Yo, we're back and we're finally not late to news. We're actually pretty early to these news. That depends heavily on how quickly I'll edit this video, which, not very quickly, so it's probably outdated by the time this video gets out, but I'm recording this when the news are pretty fresh. Now, as many of you might know from watching TikTok, for example, Jake Paul has just had a fight with Anthony Joshua, and it did not go very good for Jake Paul. Now, before we get into this video, I just want to say that some of the stuff I say in this video might be wrong because I've done like 2 Google searches and 2 TikTok videos worth of research. So, I've done very minimal research. If I'm wrong and I'm wrong, comment down below, correct me please. If there's enough wrong information in the video, maybe I'll make a follow-up or something. But now not everything I say in this video is facts. It's just probably facts, and it might be some wrong information in this video. So just for the 2 people under a rock who don't know who Jake Paul is, I can quickly explain his backstory for you nincompoops. Jake Paul is one of the 2 Paul brothers who are a pair of extremely annoying influencers who have been stirring up controversies whenever and wherever they go for years and years. And for the last couple of years, he's been very into boxing, almost exclusively fighting smaller or older and weaker opponents, which is a pretty L move, to be honest. And there's also theories and speculations on the internet about whether or not he is paying off people to lose in his fight because he is very rich, because he's done a lot of scams and a lot of bullshit, right? So he has a lot of money to pay people to be like, hey, $10 million, you lose this fight, we both make money. Right? Which obviously, winning a lot of fights helps to make Jake Paul look better. And obviously accusations of scripted fights, which maybe there's some WWE inspiration here, but what can I say? I have to mention that Jake Paul is not a bad fighter, okay? I talk a lot of shit, okay? But I would not beat Jake Paul in a fight. No shot. He's older, stronger, more in shape. He's a talented fighter. He's just not all that, He has a very bloated ego, I feel like. And he's straying away from people his age, his weight, his whatever, right? Really just picking easy fights so he could look better and earn more money. Now, one of the most recent fights Jake Paul had is with Mike Tyson. Now, this isn't prime Iron Mike Tyson. No. This is an old Mike Tyson. Years and years out of his prime, and a Mike Tyson with, a good amount of health issues. There was even a debate concerning whether he could even be in the fight because he had so much health issues at one point, right? And obviously, or not obviously, but Jake Paul won that fight, okay? And the internet went crazy speculating, he had to be paid off, he had to be this and that and this and that, right? Which maybe, but also maybe it's just that Jake Paul is in infinitely better shape than Mike Tyson was in that fight. But regardless, these wins, however you want to look at them, have increased Jake Paul's ego to astronomical levels, which led him to think he could beat Anthony Joshua in a fight. His swollen ego made him think he could beat a stronger, taller, and heavier opponent when he's never really done anything like that before. He's never had such an equal and even weight against him fight before, at least to my knowledge. Now, rest assured, AJ did not take money to lose this fight, okay? Because losing to a clown like Jake Paul does not really look good on your record, right? No matter how much bigger your wallet is, if you want to be serious in the sport, you can't really be losing to Jake Paul of all people, So safe to say, Jake Paul lost the fight and got knocked the fuck out. And there are even rumors of him breaking his jaw in the fight, which... yeesh. I've tried to look around, but the sources are kind of mixed on how much money both earned, but it's safe to say that both are a lot richer. I'm talking tens of millions of dollars richer, right? And even Jake Paul, he probably got his jaw fucked and he got knocked the fuck out, but he did earn a lot of money, which, begs the question, was it worth it for Jake Paul? Knocked out, broken jaw for, I don't know, 50, 60, 70, 80 million dollars, right? That sounds worth it. Right? Sounds worth it. He continues his career. This was one of, I think, few losses in his career. So definitely seems worth it, you know? But all in all, however you want to look at this, I'm just glad personally that Jake Paul finally got checked and finally got humbled a little bit, you know? Now he might stop thinking he's so invincible, and I'm not sure if he's gonna pick more fair fights or if he's gonna never pick a fair fight again after this, but I don't really care. I don't care about boxing, you know? I'm just a little leech, you know? But yeah, Jake Paul kind of pisses me off sometimes because he's got such a swollen ego, and it brings a smile to my face and a light to my heart to see him get humbled. And I hope it brought joy to you too. And with that, it's just subscribe, like, comment, please. I'm trying to have a pretty decent uploading schedule here. It's not really happening, but you know, subscribe either way, I guess. Yeah.
Stop texting my phone. You are blocked, bitch ass nigga.